Okay.
Over here, by the plant.
And like,
He's gonna think the plant's talking to him. This is great.
and he like looks over and he's like, buddy, I didn't know you could talk. Why you sound like a girl?
I'm not the
All
plant.
plants are girls.
I was hoping you'd come over though. This is Texas. I'm invisible right now.
All of Texas?
Well, not all of Texas.
Oh my god.
A person. I technically lived there for a very short time. You met me.
I don't need to know your backstory. What
Okay.
what do you need?
Well, there's a group of
No,
people.
no, no. Go through the entire fence.
A lot has changed in the past 12 hours.
Good God, man! You have a dangle now. I'm not going to fault you for any sort of like thing that you went through. Your body has gone through a metamorphosis overnight. Please, it's fine. You do not need to apologize. And he just kind of looks at you and puts a hand on your shoulder and just like
You got a dangle.
like, all right, you were somebody who lived in Texas
Right.
and then you
It's
took
not
the name
important
Texas?
though. That part isn't important. This is the important thing.
Why would you open with that if
No.
it wasn't
Well,
important?
I was just trying to introduce myself. Okay, so
Okay.
the important thing is there was a group in here, and now there's still one of them, but the others are gone, but they're coming back, and they want to kill us.
Are they from Texas too?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. But the important thing is they want to kill at least one, if not more, of us, and or do serious harm and damage. So, do
Okay.
you guys have rules or like a safe room?
No, we kind of play
Or-
it fast and loose here.
Yeah, I've heard that. So we should just kind of hightail it on out of here.
I mean, you could fight them. That'd be kind of entertaining. No,
Well-
right?
Am I bound to some sort of thing? I feel like the most responsible thing to do is to know, like, before you put on jewelry given to you by a god.
You feel like the most
Well, I
responsible thing to do when a god
I-
offers you a gift is to be like, well, what
Well,
is
no,
is
I
there a
thank you
user
very
agreement
much.
that
I
we
just-
need to sign here?
I
This
feel like
I mean, she's very nice, but this is no Banyan, the god of the lions. I mean, he's the king of the beasts.
And as Bubba walks out, he goes, "Hey, man, now I'm gonna get him, turn on. Woo!
Sorry, guys, I speak Bubba. I know how you doing.
And I'm man, film, Artificer Robert, putting stuff all the time.
You ain't fooling? Hell, my brother Cletus would love to talk to you.
Hey, man, I'm terrible. From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they all feel like pretty like people going in.
All right, now sounds good.
I'm just gonna cast in code thoughts to just pull this memory out for later. Someone's gonna want to study.
Are you always invisible?
No, I just did this because I was trying to be stealthy. It's not working very well. I can see
No,
that.
because you're still talking.
I know. I have learned my lesson. I haven't learned my lesson. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm gonna do more stupid stuff. It just kind of happens.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Oh my goodness, 38,000 stream points raised for the Lost Isle guest DM. What a great way to start tonight's stream. Hi, it's Thursday night. It's time for a little D&D here on Indigo Chameleon. Thank you so much for joining us as we travel once again with the Lost Isle. Everybody in the chat that's hanging out. Magnoth, Wolf Grim, Meowded, Atavistix, Nitro, Hellspawn, and Icky V, thank you so much for contributing those hard-earned karma points and giving up deification. It is a mighty giving up, I understand. But let's get started with a few announcements. We have a Discord. Come and hang out with us there if you're not already there. We'd love to have you hang out. We had a new individual sign up today that was Alcaboo's Bender and I's roommate, growing like when we first moved out of the house. So if she's watching, Miss Carrie, welcome aboard. Miss Carrie is going to be joining us for a D&D 101 coming up here soon. So I'm very excited. Other announcement, we have a merch store as well. You can get cool stuff like mugs and t-shirts and shower curtains. You can get cool mugs like this mug. Mine has sparkling water in it because Wolf's and I are in a weight loss challenge, and I can't drink what I normally drink in that mug, so instead it's going to be sparkling water. But so yeah, all sorts of fun and awesome stuff to purchase and help us keep the lights on. Upcoming schedule for this week. Tonight, Lost Isle. Tomorrow night, we go and do a Harry Potter one-shot. It is the first of 3 Harry Potter one-shots where we will have one member from each one of the houses, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Gryffindor, who will be competing in my version of the House Cup, the Indigo Chameleon Cup. And they will be earning points for their houses, and it'll just carry on week to week. So it'll be a lot of fun. Tune in for wizard shenanigans. We don't have, I know, William looks very happy. We don't have anything going on Saturday, but you know who does is Icky V and Wolfgren. Icky V, what do you got going on this weekend?
This weekend, our group is going to be doing 2 interesting things this week. Friday night, they are going to investigate a Black Pearl-esque ship that has sailed into one of the ports. And the other group is going to be finding their way through a magical mountain to try and locate an old school of magic that used to be buried in the mountains.
I love both of those things, and I'm immediately jealous because those prompts sound amazing. So please tune into Icky V's stream, and they are amazing, and Icky V's an amazing DM. And then, we're going to tune into something completely different. Wolf Grim, what do you got going on this weekend?
Well, tomorrow is day 61 of my 90-day Beat Saber weight loss challenge.
Nice.
We've got about 1 month left of doing this, and I am down 36.1 pounds. That's 16.4 kilos for those that are using a real weight and measure system. And I'm going to be beating the... I'm going to be...
That was so hard. Like, you went so hard on that.
But I will be destroying the scribe in this 90-day challenge. And we will see who gets the glitter bomb come September, end of September, beginning of October.
Wolf is used to me saying this, so this shall come as no surprise. Mr. Gurin, you can certainly try. So that's stuff going on this weekend. I encourage you to tune in and watch. On Tuesday, we have Wanderlust. It's our one of our campaigns, our sister campaign here to the Lost Isle. Wanderlust is an exploration of Wildmount. You can tune in and see. We're only 4 episodes in, and already there's been some shenanigans last week. As heroes are starting to find their footing and establish enemies, and it's great stuff for me. I'm loving it. So yeah, tune in on Tuesday. They also have a podcast that you can listen to catch up on old episodes. And then on Thursday, we cycle all the way back around to Lost Isle. I think that's it for announcements. I think that's it for upcoming schedule. Does anybody have anything else they want to plug? Podcast, other train-centric material you're putting out?
Just puns, but those will happen tonight, throughout the night. I pinky promise.
Come on, let's stay on track here.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, I should do what Icky V does and start handing out non-lethal damage to people as they make puns. Once upon a
So much fun.
once upon a time on the Lost Isle, the group magically shifted in their time-traveling exploits, but instead of shifting forward, they shifted sideways, finding themselves in a strange land filled with lightning rails, zeppelins, and dragon-marked houses, as the group found themselves in Ebberon. They met two very interesting characters. One, a purple tiefling with a penchant for jumping through portals and causing mischief, which should be listed in your player's guide as Opheria, because anytime I think of purple tieflings causing mischief and jumping through portals, I think of Opheria. So Opheria is back once again on Indigo Chameleon, as Indigo Chameleon plays with this tiefling, and Atavistix is joining us once again as Horacross, her reluctant bodyguard. The reluctant bodyguard being my favorite of the Pixar movies. So the two of them have found the group finding themselves in some of them in strange new classes and exploring what it's like to play a different class with the same personality that you know and love from previous Lost Isles. They have been tasked with a mission representing a nation here, an independent nation state known as Zalargo. The nation state that contains the gnomes and a lot of free thinkers. They've been tasked with finding a magical object called the Grounding. The Grounding is an object that has immense power and should provide the energies needed to send the group home. In order to do this, however, the group is going to have to find themselves on a train, assuming the appearance of a Mr. or Mrs. Lyman, Lyman Kessler. Lyman Kessler is going to be the persona that one of them takes on, and the group is now finding themselves headed towards the train tracks to catch up with one another, as they all split up and started visiting the local towns and things of that sort, buying mysterious items along the way. So I think our groups are as follows. Like Horacross was flying solo, and then wound up heading towards the station. Cass, Opheria, Kiara, and Turk, you're all grouped together. Knowing that you're getting closer and closer to the time, are we headed there together?
Turk is just following along, and whoever's got grabbing his arm and pulling him along further, because he's still big old gawk-eyed and everything. And
yeah, you've still got the remnants of a turkey leg, that you were handpicked for. And pulling forward. I don't know what sort of save this would be. AQV, I need a let's call it an intelligence save from you.
Oh boy. I don't know where my dice tray went, but that's fine. I'll just have to make sure it doesn't roll off the table.
Right, as you're just sort of walking along and...
It's a 14.
You don't know where William is, but with a 14, you worry about him a little bit. You just have an intense fondness for William. You don't know where he is, and you're a little concerned for him. But it's just like, oh, that big galoot. I wonder what's going on with him.
Okay, so we're all in trouble. If she's worried about me,
no,
we're going to die
I've
in a
been worried
fire.
about you before.
Hold on, we're in a fire. This is what's going to happen.
Calm
It's terrible.
down. William, you finish up your shopping escapade, trading away one of the most powerful magical objects I've ever created back to the Queen of Air and Darkness, and set off to head back towards the train station, correct?
Yeah, what were the two jars? One was Blight. What was the other one?
Give me an intelligence save. Actually, just give me a straight up intelligence check, buddy.
Oh no.
Okay. Ooh. Do I have my modifier to it?
Yeah, add your intelligence modifier.
Okay, good. Just making sure. 15 total.
You have no idea. It's a cool looking jar, though.
Yeah, got it. Perfect.
You gotta take that fish oil, man. That really helps with memory and stuff like that. It's got a...
Yep.
Yep. Wait, do you have the keen mind feat?
No.
Oh, no, you don't, because you would remember instantly if you did. All right, you keep walking, heading up and joining up with the group, and sure enough, you would catch up with Cass. Kiara, Afiria, and Turk. As they're making their way over to the train station. Horacross, I imagine, is already there and just getting a little nervous as he sees more and more people coming towards the train and things of that sort. Heroes, meeting up all together at a small platform that connects to the lightning rail. You would see all manner of affluent individuals dropping off luggage at designated parts where it's odd. The bags from these spots will rise up of their own accord and be brought to the back of the car towards the cargo car. You see an individual, looks to be a human, standing at the cargo car who occasionally will sidestep as the bags lift of their own accord and head into the spot. You also see an individual that seems to be holding a clipboard. She has an owl on her shoulder. And she is checking people in, it looks like. As you see a half-elf woman with bright red hair that's kind of draped down in these curls over her shoulder, and she's checking individuals in as they come in.
All I know is you keep talking about games on trains with owls, and I keep going, is this Friday? It's not Friday, right? It's not Friday. It's Thursday. Okay.
I need to erase the Hufflepuff section.
You started reading.
Hey!
No chocolate frogs for these ungrateful players.
No chocolate frogs.
And all right.
Hey!
Heroes, what are we doing?
Now, were we given tickets, or do we know how we're getting on the train?
You were not given tickets per se. You were told to check in, and one of you would be assuming the identity of a Lyman Kessler. Whoever's Lyman would come forward and with enough bravado say, I'm Lyman Kessler. No, I'm Maurice Chevalier. And you would just talk your way checking in, knowing that you would have a retainer and that you would be considered a VIP.
I feel like we would have decided this at some point, right?
No, you actually all split off and went your own ways. But you did decide who was going to be Lyman.
Yes.
And then we bought her a leopard print suit, and then she said no. So I don't know if she's wearing it or not. And
I have put on some steampunkness that I picked up at the store to more blend in, but I'm still,
I'm not familiar with that species of big cat, spotted cat.
I was just a druid 20 minutes ago. You cannot expect me to wear leopard print.
I'm sorry.
Hey, is this conversation going on in front of Turk at the moment?
It has to be. I'm so sorry, kids. Like, I would love for this to all be OOC, but it's way more entertaining for me as a DM.
No, that's fine.
You are sitting on the train platform being like, well, I told you to wear the leopard print, and people are just walking by and noticing this conversation. And so no, this is happening right on the train platform.
I kind of like the leopard print.
So, Kiara, what exactly are you wearing right now?
This took a turn.
Easy,
I
cats.
am.
Druid going back on her. Okay, wow, easy, scribe.
You said this took a turn, like Horacross was just like, hey, what up, ASL? Like, no, it's just asking what she's wearing.
Things are getting
mute myself.
A little testy over here. I believe I want to say I took a picture of something that I wanted that was reminiscent.
Okay, how about
You
this?
you had posted that, and it was very steampunkishly.
Yeah, it
awesome.
It wasn't too bad.
But I think you said you were wearing the leopard print underneath.
No, I did not say that.
Regardless, you would see more and more individuals start coming onto the train until that pile of luggage diminishes greatly.
Okay.
And more and more individuals get on, and it looks like it's starting to get to the point where the train's getting ready to go.
I'm not supposed to be the person whose name I can't remember. So, which one of you is that person? Or should I just throw some candy at somebody and whoever catches it is that person?
It's me.
It's
me. I got it.
What's your name? I can't remember the name.
Lyman Kessler.
Oh, I was remembering something way older than that.
Do we need to get tickets, Mistress Kessler?
Get on the train.
Mistress.
Hold on, I need to.
Yeah. After a bit of time, while everybody's sort of gathered around in a little clump, you would see the individual that is checking cargo and making sure that the luggage gets put into the place that it's supposed to go. Look over at the group and just sort of nod at the woman with the owl on her shoulder. This woman, who does not look like any character that pre-exists in the Harry Potter universe, will step away from her post as no one seems to be getting on and start approaching the group.
Alright.
Can I help you?
Yes, I am Lyman Kessler, and I was told that I had a reservation for this fine vessel.
Oh, yeah, just a minute. And she will start pouring through the paper, and she goes, "Oh, Miss,
Lyman's fine.
Lyman. Yes, Lyman, we do have here that you have a lot of space on the car, and if this is your entourage, we were told to expect them. Do you have any sort of identification?"
Well, that's interesting.
I can
I don't say that out
identify her.
loud, but hold on.
She turns to look over at the very large looming Turk. Yes?
Lyman Kessler.
Oh, it's very nice that you can identify her. That's
Big lout. And I pull out the coin that was given to me by the captain of the ship.
okay.
Hopefully this is identification enough for Miss Kessler.
And he will she will reach forward for the coin.
I think I was given a coin that had his insignia on it.
You did.
Okay.
She holds her hand out.
I don't think it was for.
I do a flourish of the coin just to kind of show both sides. I'm not going to hand it to her.
Okay. So Horcrux takes this coin and he goes, "Hey, check it out." And he flips the coin. And when he does, I gotta play this where it lands.
I don't remember it.
When he does, the entirety of the platform is overrun with this major image of a map of the surrounding areas.
Oh, I don't remember this happening.
And you see blimps flying, and you are very much treated to a current representation of the continent as a whole with moving parts, and they are just like it's on the platform. The coin flips, and as it's twirling, it's almost like the light is catching it and sending this major image everywhere.
I quickly conceal it.
Oh my! All right. Well, I don't know what that was, but
You never seen a map before?
I thought it was proof.
It was map. It is a map. It's a very good map. Why don't you just come on in? Anyone with access to that sort of. Yes, Lyman. Please, right this way. And she will open the door leading into the car as you are the last ones to enter in. Heroes, welcome to the Signet. The Signet is mapped out as follows. So you may want this for your notes. I'm going to show you first, I showed a little bit before what the Signet looks like. Most of the cars map out as follows. If you're watching the Twitch stream right now, you'll see a tiny map of what the front of the Signet looks like with these bolts of electricity coming off of a main engine car. At the front of the engine car, there is a large arcane crystal. This arcane crystal is channeling huge amounts of power, and you're actually in Zalargo, the place where these main power sources, the trapping of large elemental creatures, are what power a lot of the machines that you see here in Ebberon. So while your time was here spent on the platform, individuals were recharging it with various spells and other means. While you all board the train, it's made up as follows. You first see the first 3 cars of the train, and they're mapped out very similar to what you see on the left side of that picture of the engine. You would see comfortable chairs and things of that sort. The first thing that you're struck by is this is not a train for normal people. This is not one of those trains where like the first 3 cars are just seat after seat after seat after seat. The first 3 cars of this train are made up of comfortable couches, little sitting rooms tucked away, alcoves with curtains that you can draw over them, so that individuals that seek a bit of privacy can go and sit here, but most of them have their own sleeping cars, all right? But as you come into this, individuals are engaged in pleasant conversation and are meeting together for drinks and just mingling with one another before the train departs. All right?
Is this the first 3 cars? I understand that they're spaced out. Does it look to be luxurious as well, or is it just kind of spacious?
Yeah, you know what? Give me an investigation check, Cass.
Sure. You got it. That's the wrong mouse. Cass is really interested in the owl, apparently.
The owl's really
5.
cool looking. Yeah,
it was a 5.
It's hard to tell. It's spacious, but you don't know if that translates to affluent or not. Horacross and Etheria, I'm going to give this to you. This place is nice. This is not the sort of travel that you two are used to, if any sort of premium travel. As you come onto this train, you are handed all manner of free food and free drinks from various individuals that are walking around with trays and things of that sort.
I'm stuffing anything that won't spoil into my bag of holding.
Okay.
Isn't that
It's
bag
already
not
full of
birds?
candy.
It's packed with candy to the brim.
Oh, I didn't know it was to the brim. Okay,
Would it not be packed to the brim?
I would have gotten like an ample supply, but like
But it wouldn't be
a
packed.
bag of
Yeah.
holding contains a lot of stuff.
This image of Etheria going and being like, ooh, pigs in a blanket, thank you. Oh,
I just
another?
imagine her Scrooge McDucking into that bag of candy, like
Holding her breath for the 10 minutes and
Yeah.
jumping into, yeah.
Yep.
So,
I hadn't thought of that. That's a great idea.
Dang it.
you are all led in. You watch as the attendant that walked with you all starts to give you a little impromptu tour as heads begin to swivel, as you are the only individual so far to be given a private tour of the train. She begins to lead you onward and say, the first 3 cars are seating cars, and you can just have a seat and relax, and anyone is welcome here. And we'll get a little further past that, and she leads you once again past these 3 cars. She goes, the 4th car here is the casino car. Individuals are welcome to come here and gamble if you like. There's just a fair warning, I don't think it'll matter much to you, Lyman, but there's no limit here, so unlike some of our other cars. So just, I suppose, bet accordingly, but you should be fine. Blue marked tables are for gold and platinum, and the 2 green marked tables at the back are reserved for magical items. So enjoy. And she will lead past the gambling car and go, this is the restaurant, the Silver Spoon. Some people are born with it. Anyway, the food is very good, and she will point, she says, our chef is one of the top chefs in the area, and the menu changes every night. But if you'd like anything sent to your quarters, you just let one of the other attendants know. Past the restaurant is the sleeping car, and you have your own private compartment here in the sleeping car. It's the length of 2 cars, but there's no sort of compartment separating the 2. It's just a big space for you all to sleep.
We get 2 cars to sleep in?
No. You have our master suite. There's only 1, but it should be able to accommodate everyone.
We get 1 car to sleep in.
You get 1 car.
A whole car, just for us.
Oh yes. Well,
this is great.
You've spent quite a bit of coinage. And she goes, this area, and she walks past that area. She goes, this is an area for the children that are traveling with us. They have their own sort of programs going on and things of that sort. And she'll lead you, and she goes, the older children are over here, and the younger children are over here, and this area. And she doesn't go into the next compartment. She kind of stops by the children's department, and there's a large metal door set up. The metal door does not have a handle on it. Instead, you would see two handprints, like two what looks to be almost like Chinese theater, where somebody presses their hand on the cement and goes, "Oh, on this door, this is the door to the cargo compartment. So all of your valuables are stored here. Anything valuable that were stored on the train are here, and we understand that you're all very affluent, so this is going to, they're of the utmost protection."
If there's an emergency with the cargo hold, who has access?
Unfortunately, there's only 2 individuals that have access to it at any given time. That's our conductor. He is the only one that can go into this space, and the other attendant that works here, the engineer, Mr. Thorpe. So, Mr. Clandes and Mr. Thorpe are the only ones that have access to the cargo car.
Is there any chance that Miss Lyman would be able to meet them as a thank you for the safe travels?
Persuasion check for me, Horacross, as you're banking on some celebrity here.
22.
She thinks about it for a second. She goes, with the amount of money that Lyman has donated and paid for these tickets, I'm sure that can be arranged. Who would you prefer, the engineer or the conductor?
Miss Lyman, I believe that is your choice.
Well, we wouldn't want to bother the conductor, so I guess the engineer would be the best bet.
Of course, yeah. Mr. Thorpe would be fine. I'll send him to you. I'll send him to you post haste. And she nods at your head, nods towards you all, and goes, "Any other questions for me before I let you explore of your own accord?"
I want to explore.
Yeah, could you demonstrate the security?
What do you mean?
Can you demonstrate its response?
No, I'm not magically adept myself, but if you'd like to, you're welcome to cast any spell that you'd like on the door. Try to teleport through, polymorph yourself into anything that you'd like, and pass through to test it out before we get started.
Turk walks up and starts reaching his hands out to put them over the handprints.
Yeah, you reach out and put your hands over the handprints. They're cold beneath your touch, Turk, and you would not feel anything wrong here because they give me an insight check, buddy. Give me that brand new sweet insight for your paladin.
If I cast a firebolt, is everything gonna burn down in here? I want to test a firebolt.
That was almost a 17, but
for
it's a 13 altogether on the
13?
insight.
Yeah, nothing happens. You do have a fury. She goes, "Oh, well, nothing should happen, dear. The door."
Okay, firebolt.
Okay, give me an attack roll, please.
I gave her warning. Oof, a 13.
13. It's a door. I mean, it gets a little close to Turk. You feel like you feel that heat a little bit. However, it doesn't impact the door. As it hits the door, you see it. It doesn't hit a barrier as much as the firebolt hits it. It spreads out. Like it spreads out to a point where it's just almost like encompassing the front of the door, and then it's just sort of sucked downward.
Okay.
So it hits the door, and then sucked downward. And she goes, "You won't see any sort of security systems because we're so close to where the little ones are. So it's not going to rebound, so there's no traps or explosions or anything like that. In fact, this is one of the ways that we feed the train. Sort of ingenious. So in case there was a group of individuals that tried to rob the train, they'd start throwing energy at the door, causing the train to speed up towards the next...
3 more firebolts.
Okay.
I want to see if it works, if the train speeds up.
All right.
Are we even moving yet?
I don't think we're moving yet.
You're not moving yet, but give me...
I thought we were moving.
Give me...
Okay.
Okay.
That's a nat 1?
Okay, this is gonna hit Turk. Roll damage.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I wanted to feed the train. Feed the train.
She has all that candy and decides to feed the
17.
train magic.
17 to hit. Or 17 hits with that nat 1, Turk. You take 17 points of fire damage.
Now I am resistant to fire.
Good.
did. I'm so glad.
Good. So you take, let's call it 8.
Okay.
Kiara, you
I'm
might
so
be
sorry.
muted. You might be muted.
That is enough of that.
She
Can
looks
I,
a little.
Can I fix that? Can I fix some of that? Can I cure you, please? I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to hit you.
Turk's got a big old crocodile tear coming down the side of his face.
No. I'm gonna cure wounds. That is a 7.
Opheria gets close to the door, and as she gets closer to where Turk is standing, Opheria's skin starts to take on a weird look to it. That purple tiefling skin starts to almost get vibrantly purple, almost as if she's shedding light a little bit as she gets close to this space. And as she gets close to where Turk is, she heals him, but Turk, it does not feel like 7 points of healing. It feels like 60 or 70 points of healing. Like if she gets close to this door, like there is a burst of divine energy from her.
Whoa, girl.
In any attempt to cover her up, Horcrux would pull his cloak and wrap it around her as quickly as possible and pull her
You go
away.
full James Brown coming off stage, just like the cloak goes on and you cover her up, and she's your hands are all glowy and sparkly. Like all of the kids are pressed up against the glass of the door, like, and you just hear a collective like, "Oh my god!" Like as they all are just kind of staring out at whatever is transpiring out in the hallway.
I really want to cast another firebolt now.
Does this spark anything in our thoughts as to why she might have gone glowy all of a sudden?
I don't know. Does it spark anything in your thoughts?
Oh, I
as to
know.
why she went glowy all of a sudden?
Well, it does for me, but does it for Turk?
Oh, I see. You're like,
Okay.
So here's the deal. There are this is always weird to me. There are a lot of mystery elements to this. People not pretending, people being who they are, and so you have to decide whether Wolf knows this or whether Turk knows this, because we could do this all day of being like, I want to roll an int check to see. No, that's not how this particular mystery is going to play out. If you have a suspicion,
I think Turk's eyes just go wide in amazement. I don't know if he's going to put 2 and 2 together. What has just gone on? It's going to be more, sparkly.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast dancing lights to make it look like it's coming up from behind her, and then kind of just dramatically orb them back towards the kids, so it looks like the dancing lights are what did the shiny thing.
Okay, I'm about it. Tell you what, give me a performance check, Kiara.
Oh boy, I'm good at those.
You've got to love it when the DM asks the bar to make a performance check.
That's a 24.
The kids go crazy. This was all planned, kids. As the dancing lights go flittering outward and up and over, and you have a cloak wrapped around your body and your head.
Okay.
But you're still a little sparkly, but the kids are now looking at these dancing lights and have kind of lost interest.
These kids, are they like very, very mixed, like in their like race, or are they mostly human? Like, what do these kids look like?
No, actually, they're all sort of different sizes and shapes. I mean,
And
there's
age range from very, very young to like
Okay.
teenager, or what?
I'll grant you this. Think long hallway, okay? And think like the cruise ships, okay? Where the left side doesn't have a door that really closes, and it's all the teens, preteens, okay? The right side is the rambunctious, is the kids. I mean, it's you got like 6 to preteen, you know.
I want to look over at them because both groups can see me. I want to look over at them, and everything's covered up right now, unfortunately, but that's okay. My face isn't. And I'm going to make a face, like a kind of thing, but a very, very memorable one. I want them to remember the face. Like a silly face, like something that's going to be something they're going to laugh at.
You give me a performance check then.
But I want it to be something
because
they're going to
D&D
remember.
has not caught up to our imaginations and given us a silly face check yet.
No.
So instead, I need
well.
a performance check.
15?
15. Yeah, you make a little, and you know, you think the kids would remember
Cool.
if you made a Similar face. And this poor attendant, the owl's feathers are a little bristled. She goes, "Oh, all right. Well, there we go. That was
Thank you.
Fun.
Thank you very
Oh,
much.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you to go anywhere else but here.
Yes, but we're going to go to our
sorry.
quarters.
Okay.
Come on.
All right. And she kind of stands here and just kind of shuffles you all forward.
Yep.
Out of the space.
Fair.
How tall are the ceilings?
It's barely comfortable for you.
Okay.
You're a tall boy. How tall is
He's 8 foot. He's 8 foot tall.
I think it's you're not having to bend your head to get through here, but the different races that make up Ebberon, they're used to it's wide hallways and tall hallways. You realize that some of the other trains may not be this tall, and things of that sort. But this one's built so that you're not having to stoop. But if you jump a little bit, we're gonna have to talk about some airtime rules. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense. And now I have to ask, what are the kids doing right now? Is there anything that looks like it might be entertaining for Turk?
A lot of the kids have been shuffled off by the attendants inside that are just like, just in case somebody cast another spell, let's back away from the doors. But you guys can porthole. You can look in and see what the preteens and teens are, or what the little kids are doing and things of that sort.
Well, I'm assuming we have to walk through their train again to get back to our...
You do, but I need this established. Like, they're not going to have the kids just, like, running about. Like you're going to walk through a hallway, but they're closed off. So that, like, a parent can come up, check their kid out, and take the kid back. But you're not going to be able to just be like, "Hi, I'd like a child, please." Like, no. Like, you know.
He's speaking specifically to you, Turk. Adopter of children.
Yeah. Turk, give me a perception check as you walk by. Anybody who's walking by and kind of like being curious and looking in at the kids. Specify older kids or younger kids.
Keeping my cloak on, looking at the younger kids.
Okay. Turk?
Probably looking at the older kids in this case.
Yeah.
And with my typical rolls, that would be an 8.
Yeah, walking perception, it looks like a lot of the older kids are just sort of engrossed with trying not to look like they want to talk to anybody, but everybody making side-eye at one another in this space. But you see like tables set up, you see some odd-looking booths set up alongside the wall. You see like two, like, looks to be phone booths in the walls, but they're just sort of hanging out, and nobody's really talking to each other yet. You see some games and books and things of that sort.
12 on little kids.
12 on little kids. The little kids, with the 12 on the little kids, it's hard to make out details, but a lot of the kids are playing with automatons. You don't know the specifics of them, but a lot of the kids are playing with like little robot frog, little robot bird, little robot dog. Like somebody took a box, dumped out the box, and was like, "Go, have fun." And the kids are all just sort of playing with these random robotic creatures.
As we get through the car and we're heading wherever we're headed, I'm going to go over to Horcross.
Yeah. Hi, Blood Angel. Welcome. Yeah.
So, are there individual teachers in each of these, or
oh yeah,
somebody watching them?
Each space has like 2 or 3 individuals.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You go up close to Horcross as you've been left to your own devices at this point.
I say to him in a quiet voice so as not to be overheard too much. I want to go do recon with the kids. I'm going to drop my disguise.
Sounds good to me. Just try to stay a little distance from the cargo hold. I don't think they'll appreciate you glowing again.
I won't. Where are you guys going?
I was thinking of heading up to the casino card, seeing if I can get any information.
Ooh.
But
okay.
I do know that our Miss Lyman here is supposed to be meeting with the engineer.
I need the 2 of you, just Horcross and just Etheria, to give me intelligence saves here.
Oh, that was good.
That wasn't good.
18?
Okay.
7.
You are a little kid can't wander in. Like, I would say that you would have enough wherewithal to know that, like,
Okay.
Dad has to sign
Yeah,
you in.
that makes sense.
And then Dad has to sign you out. Like, so that it's just not
Okay.
like, hello, orphan child. Like, would you like
That
to
makes
play with a
sense.
frog? Like, it,
Of course I wouldn't think of that. But now I would think of that, I guess. Yeah, okay. You might have to sign me in.
Why? You're old enough, aren't you?
Well, right now. But not if I get into that room.
Good point.
Are they like separate from everybody? Like we can't hear them,
I'm
or
just
what?
talking, I'm like to the
You
back
can- you
of
can
front
hear
of it.
'em.
So
She's
if
not-
you could overhear,
Oh, okay.
like,
So I'm just
not
going to
trying
interject.
be,
You
like,
know,
super
there's
loud about it.
people in the room with the kids. You're
Yeah.
not like alone with them.
I know.
Okay.
Trust me, she's got this.
so Horcrux is headed back with, or you're headed to the room.
Yeah, if we lose track of each other, I'll meet you in the sleeping car.
No, I've got to come pick
Oh,
you
you
up.
gotta
What
come
time do you
pick
want me
up.
here?
Give me an hour.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so
what is
I'm in my
everybody
cloak. Hopefully,
doing?
are there people around us? I need to do
Yes,
this
it's
without.
a train.
Well, but okay. So I'm picturing walking through a car. There's a
Okay.
hallway in the children's car. There's not
Correct.
going to be a lot of extra people walking back and forth in the children's car unless they're picking up children.
I have a solution.
Yes.
Is there a restroom nearby?
Yes, I will say in between each of the cars, there's what looks to be a little restroom. You are also extremely close to the master suite that she introduced as the place that everybody here can stay in, and then could walk out if they wanted to.
Okay.
Like,
Let's go to the suite and do strange things. How about that? Come on.
Cool.
sorry, I have
So-
to. I have to write
I
that
didn't know how
down.
many sleeping cars there were because you said there was the one sleeping car that was all for us, but I didn't know how many sleeping cars there were before you got to the daycare.
So I explained that poorly. The regular size of one of these cars, like the train cars, there is one car that is huge. There's no break in it. It is about the equivalent
One
size
sleeping car, one big giant room for us in the sleeping car.
in the sleeping
along
car.
with a lot of other sleeping rooms.
Correct.
Got it.
You
Okay.
have the master suite.
I thought it was like a whole car. That's why I didn't
No.
understand. Okay.
No. But the size of this one sleeping
Got
car,
it.
which everyone sleeps in, is about the size of 2.
Got it. Okay.
Knowing the destructive power of this group, just in case at some point the cars get separated, I needed to know for me.
That's fine. That's a good idea. We should go to the sleeping car.
Okay.
So we haven't passed the children entirely, right? At this point, we're still moving
No,
that
a
way.
couple of individuals have stopped and kind of looked at one side or the other.
Okay, so traffic is kind of halted.
Sure.
How far in the back direction? How far behind us was that door, the metal door?
It's
entry to the.
not. It's at the end of this car. Like the children's car ends by the
Okay.
sleeping car, and then you would assume, or the cargo car, and you would assume that the locomotive or whatever makes this go is connected to the children's car. So it goes children's car, cargo car, locomotive, and then you look and you suddenly get it. If something goes wrong, these are the 2 most important cars.
Right.
We don't have to save everybody if something bad happens. We just got to save these, like, 2.
We're saving the cargo and the kids.
Right.
Saving the cargo and the kids.
Okay, so Gaz is just gonna walk back to the walk back a couple steps since everyone's kind of backed up, and is gonna seeing if she's got a little bell on her and trying to set up a little bit of an alarm situation, and she'll cast alarm
Okay, where are you casting alarm?
prior to the door itself, maybe like 6 or 8 feet ahead of it.
If somebody goes towards the door that leads into the cargo car, you will have an alarm that goes off in your head.
Right.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, you take a little bit of time. You get out the thread that you need to cast this, and you cast an alarm on that door. Okay, cool. You head towards the master suite. It's gorgeous, and it is based off of an Airbnb that we stayed at in St. Augustine. It has a very large bed in the center of the room, and it is decorated with all of this cool jungle scene. You feel like the plants and some of the animals are moving alongside the walls. Alongside each of the walls, there's also 2 sets of bunk beds. So the bunk beds can sleep a total of 8 individuals, with the bed sleeping like however many. And there's a large curtain that can go around the entirety of the big king size bed.
Because this is how we do things when we walk into a room. I'm calling dibs on the top bunk before anybody even gets to really see the full room.
Yeah, do it. You call dibs on.
And calling dibs by flying up and just
dibs, smacking one of the bunks.
Just on top bunk.
Smack it.
That is how we do these things.
The magic of dibs is all encompassing.
So, exactly how large are these bunks?
Your feet will be dangling. Like you're gonna need to claim 2 of the bottom bunks on 2 of the sets of bunk beds to sleep comfortable.
Can we push beds together and make room for activities?
Absolutely, you could.
Turk, you want to push some beds together?
Oh, yeah.
Not touching that one. All right, cool. You push the beds together to have some fun. And then everybody claims beds and things of that sort. It's not too long after you set foot in the room that there is a soft knocking at the door.
Hello?
Hello, I was summoned to speak to Miss Lyman.
Enter.
You would see a sort of scraggly-looking halfling. He's got it's very interesting. He had facial hair at one point. The left side looks pretty decent. The right side is coming in at patches, and he's missing that right eyebrow as well. You would assume that somebody had a run-in with some sort of fire or chemical or what have you. But this halfling is wearing overalls, and you notice that his boots are levitating a little bit off the ground. And so he's walking at a regular height, but he's just levitating off the ground a bit. He's got a bunch of tools strapped to his person, and he's wiping the grease from his hands on his overalls and trying to fix his hair when he enters into the room. Yes, I was summoned forth. I'm Mr. Thorpe, the engineer for the train.
Yes. Thank you for coming. Didn't need you to be here quite so quickly, but thank you for your expediency.
Crap. Before he walked in, because I didn't realize he was just going to like walk in here. Before he walked in, because I'm on the top bunk anyway, so hopefully I'm half hidden.
Okay.
I'm dropping my disguise because I need to be able to walk out of this room without like...
As a kid?
Yeah.
Okay. So as soon as Kiara says... The reason he walked in is Kiara went enter.
Yeah.
And as soon as she said...
But I also didn't want to interrupt. I didn't realize she was going to say enter.
As soon as she says enter, anybody that's around Etheria would notice that the visage that you were spotting before, this 18 or something year old, and this is going to mess with Wolf Corinne's head, is immediately gone, as before he was an 8-year-old tiefling. 8 or 9-year-old tiefling, like she is littles. Horacross does not seem remotely surprised, but everyone else there would probably be a, but what? As you see little kid, Etheria. Yes, anything for our VIPs here on the Signet? Is there, I was told you had some questions about the cargo car? Or just
yes.
Yes.
So the cargo car, it can only be opened by yourself and the conductor.
Correct. The system is one of my own devising, actually. It takes sustained hand contact for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, wow.
Yeah. The two hands, you should have seen the stations if you were given the tour of the area, but it will take either myself or our conductor, Mr. Clandis, and it will take both of, or one of us with both of our hands, or I suppose you could use just one hand from either of us, but 30 minutes of sustained contact, so that if an incident were to arise and someone tried to rob the train, there's only entrance by the two of us, and it would take 30 minutes, which would give the authorities enough time, no matter where we are on the track, to get there in time.
Understood.
Very smart.
You know, one of the things that engineers forget all the time is when they design these hand things, they don't take into the account that the hands actually have to be still attached to the original person. I hope you built that into the system.
If
not, I would be more than happy to help you figure that correction out.
He looks at you for a second and then looks down at his hands and looks up and he goes, I can honestly say that, sir, I never thought about someone chopping off my hands and placing them upon the door. So thank you for...
I've seen this kind of thing a lot, in this line of work. Being familiar with engineering and stuff like that.
Are you specifically a hand engineer? How is this?
No. Locking mechanisms of the sort, electronic, mechanical devices. Quite familiar with them.
Deception check, please.
But I am familiar with them.
With electronic locking devices? You were a rogue, my dude! That's like saying I'm an actor. I know exactly how to walk on a tightrope.
Well, I do have a bit of tinkering.
Tinkering? Yes. Lockpicking? Yes. Specifically electronic locking devices.
All right.
I'm going to call some BS on you right here.
Oh, no.
Okay, so I rolled a 19, but because I have a -1, 18!
18. He looks at you and he goes, oh, well, that's great. I've never met another fan of the hand electronic locking arts. And it's a pleasure to have you on the train, Mr.
Yes, it is nice to meet you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that's kind of a letdown. Is there anything else?
Don't mind him.
No, that's fine. I didn't want to talk about hand locking electronic mechanisms anyway.
I would love to, if you want to spend some time. I absolutely would love to go over maybe that correction.
Who would I inquire as to having that conversation with?
Me. I'm right here.
Understood. Thank you so much, sir. I will be sure to ask for you.
You're leaving? You don't want to talk now? We could go maybe have a cup?
I think, William, what he was wondering was what your name is.
The train has to go, sir. So as soon as I get the train going, maybe
listen, I thought security was at a higher level. My bad. I thought we were going to address it now, but I would be more than happy to discuss it once the train's underway. Just ask for me.
Sure. Everybody but William, give me an insight check. Looking for a DC of 12.
Oh, wait.
Made it.
Everybody made it? He is not... He is not going to ask for William. He is not going to pursue a conversation with this man.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Is there anything else I could help you all with before I get things going, get us back on track?
Yeah, is this gonna? Wow.
It's a train joke, madam.
Is it gonna be pretty outside? Like, can we look out the windows? Is it gonna be pretty? Is it gonna be kind of weird?
Sure. Most of our journey is going to be quite pretty alongside the coast. It will take a couple of days, so you will see some sights. And at a certain part in our travel, I want to say a little ways into the second day, we actually take you underwater for a brief jaunt, as you'll be able to see some of the sea life here alongside the coast before we enter into Sharn.
Okay, so if I wanted to smell the sea air, I don't. Do you have like a balcony area?
No.
Is that?
No, ma'am. Oh. It's a moving train.
Can I smell? Can I open a window?
Yes.
And not underwater, but.
Yes, absolutely. You could, or you could enjoy one of the pleasure chambers in the casino.
Sorry.
Pleasure chamber.
Yes, one of our attendants has brought and established a pleasure chamber on They've set it up inside the casino. It's a tad expensive, but you're welcome to use that.
Okay. Gus is gonna turn and go the other way.
Do you start blushing? Like, do you start laughing? He's like, oh, the name. Yeah, no, we're trying to get him to change the name. The pleasure chamber it refers to a specific chamber that our magic user has created. It's only found here on the Clandis, or only found here on the Signet. The pleasure chamber can. It's a very specific sort of magic. It essentially opens a portal to a room of the person's choosing.
Is this a holodeck?
I don't know
Is
what
this
that
a holodeck?
is.
But I'm asking
because because you're actually going there. There are some stipulations, like there can only be one entrance into the space, and nothing inside of the space can be taken out from it. But you could visit any place that you've ever been to, and just visit along and see it. Beautiful gardens, the beach. You would definitely be able to smell the air. There are certain rooms that we have pre-established that will provide you the facsimile of a beach, but it just might cost you a little cold.
For curiosity's sake, if the location no longer exists, would we still be able to visit it?
I'm not sure. That would be a question for Jinx, the wizard who runs the pleasure chamber.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is there a chance that maybe we can go say hi to Jinx?
Are you looking for hijinks?
If you have the ability to say hi, you are welcome to say hi to
Where's
Jinx.
he located? Where is he?
I am assuming he's
in the casino, Claire.
casino where the pleasure chamber is. Or if you would open your ears, perhaps.
No,
you would be able to
he
hear
doesn't
that.
necessarily have to be there. It's his machine. Doesn't have to function with him in it, or does he have to cast the portal every time?
Yes, he holds the port wand. He concentrates outside of the chamber to allow you entrance inside of it. He maintains concentration while you enter into the pleasure chamber.
See, that's what happens when we make assumptions.
You make an ass out of you and me.
And umption, what?
Also happens when you don't give a person your name when they specifically ask for it, or a name that you can give them.
He didn't specifically ask for my name. He implied
He did.
that he was asking.
Thank you
Your
for
name.
telling us about the pleasure chamber.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. But it was
Thank you.
It was fun, and it was real, and it was real fun. And he nods at you all and turns around and just sort of levitates outside of the door, closing it behind him.
Turk immediately turns towards the little tiefling and kind of pokes at her. Who are you?
It is rude to poke random people. Turk.
It wasn't random. It's that one right there.
Person.
That
See? It's not random.
You got little.
No, I am. Well, I'm not little. Hang on. I'm still me. I'm a little shorter. People take adults way more seriously than they do 8-year-olds.
So are you 8
You're
or you
8?
adult?
Yes,
I think mentally it's the same, right?
I'm still me. I'm just
You're
shorter.
8.
I can also get more information from the other 8-year-olds in that room.
I'm sorry. You're 8.
Yes, Etheria is 8.
You're cute.
Ew.
You are. You're
That's
really
weird.
Gross.
Please.
And he puts his hand up to pat her on the
Doesn't
head.
it like that? He thinks that you're adorable
Can
and
I
you
fly
deserve
up and
hugs.
pat him on the head, but harder than he patted me on the head?
You could try.
Okay.
Give me a strength check as you.
Well.
My dude is a Goliath,
Yeah,
so you're just
I have
gonna
a negative
to,
1 to strength, so that's a 6.
You see her fly up and like, how you like that? How you like that? And you think she's tapping you on the head because you see her.
I'm just giggling right now.
Okay, so let me get this clear. We're on a train.
Yes.
I know.
She is 8 years old, and she is supposed to activate some sort of magical thing.
I think she already did it.
I already did.
Glow?
I think. Yes.
Jinx?
It's D&D. Yeah.
You're the ones who traveled sideways through time
So I
this
think
is
we're-
weird.
Also,
Yes, because look,
Done?
Also,
We
this
won,
is
right?
Also, this
Actually-
is why I looked the way I did, because I'm still the same person. I'm just shorter and younger. So
number one.
this is
And
why
that
I
is
spent
my
my
line.
time looking like
You're
that.
so cute.
This is why. Right here. This is why.
Because you're 8 years old, you shouldn't be putting yourself into situations where it's dangerous.
Oh, so I totally
Trust
should when
me.
I'm like 17. Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
I've traveled long enough with Etheria. She can handle herself.
Thank you.
I'm
I
not
like
saying
him.
she can't.
I mean, not you, gross, but
What I'm saying is that
Huh?
where I'm from, I am a teacher and I teach 8-year-olds.
okay.
So-
I don't
Trust
want
me,
to
you've
do
never
any math.
taught an 8-year-old like this.
Please don't make her. Please don't let her make me do math.
I wasn't a math teacher. I was science and biology. It's
Okay,
fine.
I don't want to do school
However-
right now. Don't let her make me do school.
I don't do school either.
If I could turn into an octopus, I would make you do
can
school.
turn into an octopus?
Cass
Not
is gonna
here, I
just
can't.
Eyeball
That's-
Turk and. Don't you
What?
have like a master's degree?
Not right now. I don't seem to. But
Why would you say
Okay.
octopus if you can't turn into an octopus? Now I'm disappointed. Would you like me to turn you into an octopus? I can do that.
The train begins to move.
yes.
You feel the soft rumble underneath your feet as the Master Suite. This is not the first argument that has happened in the Master Suite of the Signet, but it is the oddest. As the train, you feel the motion underneath your feet, and the train has left the station, as it were. You are acutely aware of several things. One, this train is moving so fast, but you hardly sense the movement. There is something about the lightning rail and the magics inherent in the train that none of you, even those of you prone to seasickness or to motion sickness, are not motion sick. Why, do you ask? Because the writer crafts the ideal world, and Indigo Chameleon gets motion sick on trains. So if I'm going to create the ideal world, of course there would be anti-motion sickness on magical trains. And that's what you become aware of. Two, you would be aware that the windows are magically enhanced to slow down what you see outside. So the train's moving very fast. However, the train image that you see on the window is sort of slowing the picture down to give you a chance to look at the landscapes around you. Does that make sense?
Now, coming from where we came from, being familiar with like an iPad, things of those nature, can I zoom the window?
It's not a screen. It's not digital. It's not like it's almost like there's a time dilation here on the Signet that slows things down, so that even though the train is moving obscenely fast, it's giving you enough time to look at it. But you can't go enhance. Like, unfortunately, that would be great if you could.
Turk still tries.
Yeah, Turk goes up to the window and it just starts flicking it. You know what I mean? But yeah, the train starts moving. You would hear Indigo Jima. That's a very good point. You would hear a bing bong as from somewhere around the train. You hear, ladies and gentlemen, this is your conductor, Mr. Clandus. Thank you for joining us on travel here to Sharn on the Signet. There are plenty of ways for you to travel when you're traveling here, and we're so glad that you chose the Signet. The dining car is now open. The casino is now open as well. And we hope that you enjoy your stay. Please look for anyone wearing the uniform if you have any questions while you're here. This is Mr. Clandus, once again, signing off. And you hear bing bong as that stops.
Okay, so while you guys were looking at the kids and stuff, I'm set up a thing that'll tell me in my head if someone gets close to the door. Also, I want to go walk on the roof of the train because I've seen that in movies a lot and I've always wanted to do it.
I
So-
don't think you should walk on the roof of this train.
Tell me why not?
I did that
Because
before
you'll
and I
fall
almost
off.
fell off.
Number one, this is called the lightning rail. I'm assuming it's because lightning comes off the front of it. And it would not be appropriate for you to be zapped by lightning walking across the roof of this train.
Number 2, you want to walk across the roof of a train. Perhaps we can set something up back home, but now is not the time.
I've also not
now
learned
is the
not
time.
to fly above the trains.
We won't know
because I
until we
can't keep
try.
up.
Afiria brings up a very good point, and hopefully the group hears it, as she says, I tried to fly one time on a train, and it did not go well.
Afiria actually did in Ebberon. It actually happened.
Afiria discovered that anyone's flying speed is not going to be equivalent to how fast the train is moving. So what may seem clever in a moment suddenly becomes not clever at all.
Unless you want to get to the back of the train really fast.
I did. And I also didn't die. Actually, I went off the back of the train and I hit the ground.
You're Look. Cass, do you remember what physics is?
Yes, relative motion says that a fly in my car it will fly as fast as I am going. That's why flies always get in the car and stay around my head when I'm on the highway. But I don't drive anymore. Nope.
But velocity of the air that comes off the front of the train that wraps around the side of the train is going to be moving faster than the rate of the train itself, which is going to propel you backwards. So that's not a good idea. We're not walking on top of the train.
Make my feet
If she
sticky.
doesn't fly, she should be all right.
What if I make my feet sticky?
Am I supposed to be taking notes?
No.
No, don't take notes.
Yes,
this is
take
bad.
notes.
Ugh. Cass is gonna sit down cross-legged in front of Etheria and just be like, "Our ideas are bad until they're good. Don't listen until we do them."
So we're doing this train walking thing? Sounds good.
No, we are not doing this train walking thing.
So, Kira, are you gonna go gamble?
Cass.
Or like do the pleasure chamber?
Totally down.
If you three decide to go do something stupid.
Okay, I did nothing. I
know
nothing.
you did nothing yet, but I'm sure you will. If you three decide to do something stupid,
The alarm
this is
goes
on
off.
you.
No
ringing
one else,
in my head.
Nobody else hears it, but the alarm definitely goes off.
She's never heard it before. She's gonna be like, "Guys, there's a weird ringing in my head."
Seems appropriate.
It's
Did
the
you
it's the,
hit your
the
head?
thing. The someone walked up against the thing and now it's ringing in my head. It's terrible. So we go look?
The thing
It's
the
part
door?
of the assassins.
Yeah, the thing on the
We
door.
should go look.
Yes, you should
Let's
go
go.
look.
Fairy, do you want me to drop you off at the car while I check it out?
Ooh, let's go peek and then you can drop me off. Oh,
Okay.
and also
Well,
I would
don't you
like
have
to
to
keep in
drop off?
mind that Kiara is getting mad at 3 people about doing irresponsible things, and none of those 3 people are me. So,
Not
Quite
yet.
impressed.
Win-win.
The 3 firebolts were a little excessive.
She only got off 2.
I'm headed
Yeah.
to
The 2 firebolts were a bit
find
excessive.
Thank you.
Jinx.
Also keeping the
Excessive
train.
on my butt.
What?
Nothing.
Let's go.
So everybody but William is going to go look to see what the alarm is about, and William is going to go by himself to try and locate Jinx. Is that what's going on right now?
Yes, that is a pretty good grasp of the situation.
William's going to find Jinx.
Correct.
Everybody else is going to see the alarm.
I was gonna go get some food.
Turk's going to the restaurant.
Hang on. What if there's a bad guy over there and we have to fight somebody?
We get to fight somebody.
We might. You never know.
I'm gonna go check out the alarm. Well, okay. Don't we have to go through the kids to see their?
Yes.
Yes, let's go.
Yes.
Time.
Okay.
Time.
Let's go. Let's go. Do it. I'm hungry.
William, you should go with us. And then go do your thing. Okay,
that
let's
sounds
go.
like no fun.
All right. I run out the door towards the place.
Okay.
All right.
By the time that you get there, there is nobody by that door. Cass, read for me the last line of the alarm spell, please.
Sure. You choose whether the alarm is mental or audible. Oh, no. An audible alarm produces the sound of a handbell for 10 seconds within 60 feet.
So
You told me it was in my head.
Yeah,
So
so
I
you-
assumed
you-
you chose that it was mental for me.
I need you to specify. Would you have chosen
Okay.
mental or audible?
I would have chosen mental, but you also told me it was mental. So
Okay, cool.
win-win. That works out.
Okay, perfect. As you come up towards where the door is, you would not see anybody around it. Who is headed? William, you are headed to the casino car.
If
Correct.
we don't see anybody around it, can I do?
Yep.
Is there enough space that I can do a quick like zigzag just to see if I bump into anybody that's invisible?
Sure. William is headed to the casino car. Turk, you're headed to the restaurant, or you're headed towards the.
I heard there might be something to beat on. So.
Cass and Kiara and Horacross, you're all headed to the same space as well with Etheria, correct? Okay.
Correct.
As William takes off, Etheria gets to that part, and as you enter into where you see the kids area and the other car, Etheria just starts running zigzag in the hallway. She just starts going like just running in the hallway. I need a dex check. I just need a d20 and add your dex to it.
9.
Okay, cool. You don't feel anything as you go running in the hallway, and whatever tripped the alarm, you're not sure what it was, but as you go running in this hallway, you don't feel anything.
I was seeing if there was somebody who was invisible, and I was going to try to run into them.
Do you say that?
Yes.
Oh, I think I might.
Where's everybody standing in this car?
Turk probably would be way at the other side, just looking at the room, not seeing anything in there, just kind of leaning up against the door that leads into the children's car.
Leaning up against the door into the children's car, okay?
He's on hands and knees looking for something.
Okay. Epheria's running zigzag. Kiara, where are you?
I'll be at Turk's right.
Okay. How tall is Kiara?
7 foot.
You're still...
No, I'm not 7 foot. I'm 6'4".
Got it. Horacross.
Be kind of doing the same thing as Cass, looking around for any clues of anything.
Cast Horacross investigation checks, please.
Oh dear God.
It's a 15 for Horacross.
15 for Horacross.
Sorry, I dropped my d20. You said investigation?
Investigation.
Okay, I'm just going to use the roller. A 12.
Okay. You don't spot anything.
Okay. So, Etheria said something that sparked something in the back of Cass's head. That Cass thinks she might be able to see invisibility. And Cass going to think real hard about that. And try and focus around the room and see if she can't see if something is in fact hiding from her. So I'll cast See Invisibility.
You cast See Invisibility on yourself. What are the components available for See Invisibility? Verbal and semantic? So somatic?
Verbal somatic material, and it's talc and a bit of silver.
That's all I need to know. Verbal and somatic.
Yes.
You cast See Invisibility on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Over Kiara's shoulder, with their hands and feet, hands pressed up against one wall, feet pressed up against the other, is an individual wearing what looks to be all black, but they are indeed invisible. And as you look and stare up at them, they will look down and see you looking at them.
And Cass will say, Turk, with me being down here, you're really a lot taller than I remember.
Deception check.
Yep.
That's a 10.
Okay.
And she'll say, hey guys, I still can't find my earring. Can you help me look? More eyes, the better. I think it was over here.
Sure. I will attempt to help her look.
Turk, your eyes are bigger now that you're bigger.
So, yes, I'm supposed to go crawl over on the floor and look for. What does it look like?
It's a silvery earring. It looks like this one, and she'll show that she has no other earring on.
You.
Okay. So Turk squats down on his hands and knees and starts looking along the floor.
You hear shit There is a deep breath inward. No, I don't want to go with you to your car. I just want to stay where I am. The invisible form is going to drop to the ground as you see a young-looking kid take the hood off and hit the ground and be like, no, please, I just want to go back to the kids area. And just start screaming in full volume, loud, I don't want to go with you, stop. He is no longer invisible. He is wearing all black, but he takes the hood and rips it off.
I'm so glad I'm not there at the pedo train.
He's human, he's got brown hair, and he just starts yelling, and there's a commotion from the kids area.
And everyone can now see the kid.
Everybody can now see the kid who has dropped from the ceiling down to where Kiara is.
You were invisible. What were you doing?
I was trying to break into the cargo car.
You can't break into the cargo car.
You can't break into the cargo car. Doesn't mean I can't break into the cargo
I
car.
haven't tried to break into the cargo car. I'm not saying I couldn't.
So you're slow?
No, I just haven't tried yet.
That means you're slow. You got burnt.
Wow.
Anything other than his black clothing that is recognizable to Horcrux?
No, give me a perception check at disadvantage as 2 adult workers come out from either side of the area and come and look. And they go, they look over at this child and they go, Ethos, what are you doing? And he goes, nothing. And he walks over towards where the younger kids are staying. He just like kind of walks by, and as he does, he's going to shove Ophelia in the shoulder.
I'm shoving him back.
Okay? As you shove him in the shoulder, you're close to the cargo door,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so it's a shove, shoom. I need a... How many first level spells do you have? 1, 2,
Wow.
3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Give me a D6, please.
Oh.
Oh
Okay.
no.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. As another healing spell goes off, as she shoves this kid towards the door, he falls backwards to the door, and as he gets close to the door, Furia starts glowing again. And this kid, flash of radiant energy that everybody's sort of blinded by. So this kid heals for like 70 hit points if he was missing anything. And the worker just goes, what was that?
It was a cool trick I do.
She looks at you and goes,
I'm sorry.
It's fine, and grabs Ethos by the hand and leads him into the kids'
What?
area.
He's not hurt. He's the one who pushed me first.
Are you signing in your daughter?
Yes, I will be. And you
Is
asked me to roll
this-
perception. It
is
was a
this-
dirty 20.
Is this purposeful magic or is this wild magic?
Thank you for showing me how to do that trick, Ophelia. It's really cool. And then Cass is going to try to replicate it with prestidigitation.
Okay, hang on. Thank you for teaching me that trick. It's purposeful magic. Perfect. Welcome to the kids' area. Afira, you're going to get this really neat-looking bracelet while you're here. Can we see your left hand, please? Click. No magic. No spells. She's like, you're going to have so much fun. Welcome to the Super Happy Fun Train, where every day is a super happy fun time.
Wow, this reminds me of that one Fairly Odd Parents episode.
I pulled from every source available. Horcrux, with your real quick perception check, you're going to... I'm going to private message you what you see. You got a 20?
I did. Dirty 20.
At disadvantage?
At disadvantage. I got a plus 10.
Yeah, boy. Okay, I'm going to message you what you see. Okay? So Ophelia is dropped off by Dad. All of her magic is gone. You've noticed that 2 other children in this space are wearing bracelets. And she is dropped off.
Did Ethos get a bracelet on when he went in?
Ethos does not have a bracelet.
I'm walking over to Ethos when they're done.
Great. As
Cass, I'm not finding your earring anywhere.
It's okay. I'll find it eventually.
Okay.
Turk stands up and brushes off his knees.
Thank you for looking with me, though, and she'll get up too and kind of wave for Kiara to do the same.
let's cut to Mike. Mike, welcome to the casino, pal. People are starting to trickle in. And you see a few tables set up, and people are starting to get an early start on things. Hang on. If I sent you this, Ada, would you understand exactly what I mean?
Let me take a look.
He's not going to send it. He's
I
just saying,
can
"If
look it
send
up for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
But I do believe so.
William, yeah, you're seeing around. You see people in like are starting to get set up at tables. In the back, you would see another gnome, actually, of all individuals, with a little booth. It looks like a little Doctor Who booth. You know, it's very tucked away in a corner, and he's holding a oddly looking ornate carved wand. And he's currently in the process of cleaning this little area and setting up. And he's wearing the uniform of the individual. Of the train, the workers of the train, and you see other individuals set up at their tables.
What kind of tables?
We have dragon dice. We have poker, or a form of poker. We also have a few odd games where a object is placed on the table and then seems to randomly hop from spot to spot to spot until it winds down a magical energy, eventually landing on a space. But there's also a very strange-looking game that you're not sure what it is, of two individuals that are blindfolded that seem to be projecting small bursts of illusions on the table in front of them. But you're not sure how the game works.
Gotcha.
You'd be familiar with like dice and cards and things of that sort.
Gotcha. So I see the gnome. Does it have like a nameplate out or a description of? Oh, this is the spot I need.
Unfortunately, there is no nameplate that says Pleasure Chamber that William can put on the front of his door frame when he gets home. There's no nameplate for him to steal.
I would stole it.
I know you would have. But unfortunately, there is not. It is unmarked.
Okay, well, I will walk past each of these tables and pause for a second or so to kind of. Has anybody started playing at any of them yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, I'll just walk by and like observe them for a second or two, and then move on to the next one, observe that table, and then move on to the next one, observe that table, working my way down to the booth.
The dealers, which are setting up in the space, smile amiably at you. I mean, one of them remarks that if you'd like to play, sir, you're welcome to. You just need to.
And which table is that?
You see the table where the thing hops from the random spots. He just kind of smiles at you. He goes.
Yeah, I'll tell him. I've never seen this. Could you explain it to me, like how it works a little?
Sure. There's actually it's fairly simple, sir. It's 1 through 20. You can place however much gold you want to on a string of either odds or evens to come up of any of the numbers to come up on the 20. If it comes up and it's a specific bet, like on a particular number, you win double your money back. But if you are there, you win a fourth of your money if it's one of the blanks, like the odds or the evens. So, but you're
Gotcha.
willing to bet as
Now,
much as you'd like.
does it determine where it finally lands, or which places it hops to each time?
Completely randomized, sir. Where it finally lands.
Where it finally lands. Gotcha. That makes sense. Well, maybe I'll come back, but I see you getting started. I'll wait and maybe observe. I'm kind
Absolutely,
of a new fella at this area.
Enjoy yourself. And he just
Thank
sort
you.
of nods at you.
And I'll move on to the next one, and then the next one, until I get to the booth.
Okay. What kind of voice? I got to do this. Hello, Jinx. How are you?
Hello.
What's your name?
William.
William. Pleasure. I'm Jinx. This is the Pleasure Chamber. Sorry, that's a vocal, tonal thing that I do, but you're free to make fun of me as much as you wish, sir.
Oh, I thought it was some sort of specialized greeting, and I didn't want to offend.
No, sir, I'm never quite as much fun as people think I am.
So, what is this? It was introduced to us as the Pleasure Chamber.
This is an object of my own invention, sir, and he looks over at you, and he's got this pretty colorful, the only colorful part of his uniform that's different from everyone else's is he's got a multicolored bow tie. But it looks like everybody gets a little piece of flair, and Jinx picked his piece of flair as this
It's not 14
shimmering.
pieces of flare
Yeah,
required.
it's like translucent, sparkly rainbow bow tie that he wears, and he goes, "Pleasure Chamber, you just name a place that you'd like, concentrate on it very hard, and then I will make it manifest for you. It must only have one entrance in, but you are free to enjoy yourself and go anywhere you wish to go."
So, this is pretty interesting. The one entrance in, is it by portal only, or could there be another door into the room?
There could be another door into the room, but all doors and windows in the space would be locked shut magically.
So what's the purpose of that? Explain it. It seems it's
Well,
interesting. I like what you've done.
Perhaps someone on the train wanted a massage. We have entrances to a spa with masseuse at the ready. We have beautiful lush gardens. We have one aboard a zeppelin if you'd like to enjoy the sights of above. For a time being, perhaps you wish to visit someplace outside of your station. You know? Your imagination is the only thing holding you back.
No, the locking part of it. That's the interesting part. How did you devise that, and for what purpose?
It helps me maintain concentration. I must maintain complete concentration here. If you were to travel to other rooms, it would be too taxing upon me.
Got you. And now, what happens if the portal closes? You're just stuck in that room?
No,
or
the
you're stuck in that.
Would unfortunately come to untimely end. They would be destroyed. It is I'm still working on figuring that out. But
It's not the real. It's like a pocket version of it.
No, it is the real place.
So the portal's not just accessing it.
No, it's not an imaginary spot. You are going to a place.
So if the portal closes, anybody in that room is killed?
Unfortunately, yes, sir. Well, I mean, not anyone in the room. If you traveled from here to there, your body cannot be in two places at once.
Oh, so I'm not actually going there. I'm a projection there.
Correct, sir.
Ah,
You would
that's
feel the
interesting.
sensations, but your soul would be tethered here.
Interesting. Well, that is a mighty fine piece of architecture you've created here. This magic.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your.
And you control it with this wand?
Yes, and he holds the wand up to you. He holds it up rather gingerly. Looks to be ornately carved, rich mahogany. Smells of leather and rich mahogany.
Nice. Now, so you don't need the room. The room's just kind of a place. You create it with that wand.
Well, no, the room is also roomed in such a way as to connect with the wand.
Interesting. What happens if you try to make a portal outside of that room?
You probably could. You just wouldn't be able to hold it for the hour and a half that I am able to hold this one for.
You, sir, are quite devious. I like it.
Thank you. And he holds a hand out to you.
I'll shake his hand.
He keeps the hand up.
Keep shaking his hand?
As you finish shaking the hand, he turns the palm slightly upward.
Turn my palm in the opposite and shake his hand again?
He will sigh and put his hand down.
Oh.
Was
you were? Should I tip you?
No,
Is that
sir, we don't need tips here. I'm but a simple wizard who has created a pleasure chamber. Nothing more.
Well, I myself am a wizard. I was interested in your craft.
Oh, I'm afraid it's proprietary. He clams up a little bit.
Was not planning to encroach upon it. I was appreciating it.
Very well. Thank you for appreciating. And he holds his hand out again.
I will drop a little gold in it, a piece, 1 gold piece.
He puts it. You're too kind. No, I certainly couldn't. As he's putting it in his pocket.
Absolutely. Now this car connects to what's the next car in line? Past the.
Casino car is all the way at the very front, or the back of the train, as you will. It connects to the restaurant.
All right, then I'll continue on to the restaurant to there.
What's everybody else doing? I know that Etheria is talking with her new best friend of the whole wide world. But what's Horcrux and Kiara and Turk doing now that they dropped the kids off?
I would actually like to cast a spell, message, and send it to Etheria in hopes that she can get it.
Okay. Yeah. What do you send to Etheria?
I send, watch out for Ethos. He's possible assassin.
Okay. Etheria, you hear, watch out for Ethos, he's possible assassin. And the minute that hits your head, Ethos, at his side, pulls out a book, looks at the book, looks over at you, and gives you one of these.
I walk over to him.
Okay.
And, oh.
Do you send a message back to...
Oh.
Oh, that's not a... No, I don't think you get... Do you
I
get...
don't think...
No, you just get a message.
I get to.
You just hear it. Yeah, you don't get to send it back.
Okay.
And I don't have it.
He takes the book and puts it in his pocket.
I walk over and I say, how'd you manage to not have to wear a bracelet? Did you take it off? How'd you take it off?
I don't do magic.
You were invisible.
Who?
Is he still wearing the cloak?
Yeah, he's just wearing a black cloak.
Does it look like it'd be easy to pull off?
You could certainly try. He's leaned up against the back wall of this place. Like, doors here, wall, back wall. He's leaned up against the back wall.
Oh,
and he's wearing a cloak.
So magic items are okay?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about. Don't play dumb.
I thought that was your job.
What?
What? Oh my god.
How do you get rid of bracelets? Oh my gosh.
How old are you?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was in the toddler car. Okay, I'm going to go over to any other... no, me.
Okay, that's right.
I am going to go over to any other child that's wearing a bracelet.
Okay, yeah, there's two other kids. One of them is a dwarven girl who is... she looks really little. She looks like almost like 4. Okay. You know what I mean? Like when she's playing. You see a individual over in the back corner, away from this other kid, who's over there, and he's just slowly picking up blocks and trying to put the block on another block, but it's taking him a while to balance. He looks to be a little older than you. Like he's just having trouble balancing these blocks. Every time he gets close to it, like it almost looks like he's just not able to balance the 1, 2, 3, like the 4th block on it.
But it looks like a fairly easy task that he's unable to do.
It's fairly easy. Like he's just balancing like little blocks, but he is wrapped in conversation or concentration trying to like, get this block on there.
Bracelet club, huh?
Yeah.
Hate it.
Sucks.
Do you need help?
Getting the... No, I gotta learn how to do it or I'm never gonna be able to do it.
You have to learn how to stack the block?
You're really good at making friends.
No, do you usually stack it with magic or something?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. I was just asking. I mean, I, do magic too to do stuff.
You're wearing a bracelet.
I know. What's his deal? I point over at Ethos.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, I noticed.
I don't... Sorry, these are little kids. But I gotta play this right. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, he was kind of a jerk.
Well, I mean, the sound carries in here. You're not particularly
No, that's fine. He can know that I think he was a jerk. He was kind of mean to me.
Okay.
All right.
What's your name?
Why are you all by Etheria?
Cool.
What's your name?
Kane.
Hi, Kane.
Hi, Etheria.
Are you here with your parents or something?
Kinda.
Kinda? What do you mean kinda?
I just met him a couple of days ago.
You just met your parents?
Sure.
You said that like you didn't. I'm here with my dad, but he's not really my dad, so, I get weird families.
That's cool.
Are you, being adopted or something?
You ask a lot of questions.
Well, I don't know. It's interesting, and there's nothing to do here except, I guess, stack blocks, and I can't use magic. It's really annoying.
He looks over at where the teacher is, and he does that. Stand in front of me.
Okay, I do.
He takes the block, and he like looks at the teacher, and while he's making eye contact with the teacher, he like smiles, and the teacher like smiles back. And the minute she turns away from him, he takes the block and digs into his arm, like digs into his arm. And when he does, a bit of skin like pulls up on the arm, like it he digs a chunk of it. And as he does, he kind of like waves to the teacher again with one hand, and with the other, he shows you the arm where he dug up, and you just see metal.
Oh my god, are you a robot?
And he like takes the skin and pushes it back, and he goes, "We prefer different names."
What's the coolest name for what you are?
Kane.
Okay, but like, that's your name. But
What's the coolest?
my name is Euphoria.
And is that the coolest name for a tiefling?
Well, no.
What is the coolest name for a tiefling?
Winged Goddess of Power is the coolest name I can think of right now. I'm not good at names, okay? I'm bad at names. Can you come up with a better name? I don't know. What am I supposed to say?
A cool name for a winged tiefling?
Yeah.
Zerafina.
That is pretty cool. Okay, so you win
But her
this
friends
round.
call her Zara.
You win this round.
Okay.
I call her Sarah.
Cool.
Anyway,
you guys just kind of sit together for a little bit, and he's just kind of hanging out with you, and he looks happy, he looks comfortable. Let's cut back to the rest of the party. As we go back to the rest of the group. Horacross, where are you headed?
I would meet up with the rest of the group. I'm assuming we're headed back to the car, and I passed on the information regarding the house.
Okay. Cass, Cass, Kiara, and Turk, what are you guys doing?
Turk is hungry, so we were gonna go head to the food place, the Silver.
Yeah, Silver Spoon. Cool. As you guys go to the Silver Spoon, there are a few individuals that are set up at tables. However, there is a booth in the back. A skinny, very angular-faced gentleman who has a receding hairline but is doing his damnedest to try to make sure that nobody notices how receding this hairline is, comes scurrying over to you and he goes, "Ah, yes, Lyman. Right, the Lyman party? Your booth has been reserved, and I've made sure that no one sits in it. Are you joining us for food? Do we feel ravenous? Are we feeling just a little peckish and want a little something to nibbles?"
Well, my bodyguard here is definitely feeling a bit ravenous, and the rest of us are famished as well.
Understood, right in this way. And he bows very deeply, his forehead almost touching the floor as shiny as it is, and he will lead you over to this booth tucked away in the corner. As you sit, you notice that 3 attendants come out and immediately realize that Turk is not going to fit in this booth. There is a snapping of fingers as this skinny individual summons forth the largest chair they could find, which fits Turk's frame, and put it at the end of the table. Right this way, we'll bring out just a little bit of everything for you all to try, and we can test your palates and see what makes it fun.
Perfect.
What did he just say?
He nods his head and then heads off into the kitchen.
We're going to get food, Turk. That's what he
Okay.
just said. Have a seat.
Okay.
After a time, Horcross would catch up with you all. William, you would also stumble in there as well, I think, after a fair bit of since it's the place right next door. All of your interactions and stuff would lead you, and you would see the group there. Would you join them, or would you head somewhere else?
I will stay as far away from them I can and still be in the room.
Okay, yeah. William looks at you all and sort of nods his head, and to make things even more difficult for his DM, he sits at a bar away from the rest of the party. This, Kiara's feeling me. This skinny individual with the very angular face brings over a litany of foods, each one of them in very small portions, except for the ones for Turk. who he brings out what looks to be like 8 portions on a plate of like a bowl of salad rather than a small side salad, followed by what looks to be these little tiny black spheres on top of a hard-boiled egg or like an egg of some sort. These tiny black spheres that taste very salty, but he brings out like 8 of them to you, and it's very refined food, very rich in flavor. And at the end, it's followed by a very small pheasant, which is roasted with citrus and various herbs and a tad garlicky, but for the most part, it's good. And brings over this food to you, standing not too far away, as if you were to summon him and he was a familiar of sorts.
Okay.
So
Is there like salt? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Is there salt on the table?
Salt and pepper and that kind of stuff on the table?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Cass is gonna pocket some pepper. Just like handful of it, shove it in the pocket.
Pocket sand.
Like the pepper shaker?
Oh, just
Like loose
pocket
pepper?
Yeah.
Pocket pepper. So you like you have the pepper.
New band name.
You grind the pepper into your hand. And
Yeah.
he's just watching the whole time, and then you place your hand in your pocket and just sort of wipe it off.
And she'll like lick it and go, yummy. Like really begrudgingly.
He will nod his head, a very confused look upon it. And you will see him say something to one of the attendants, and the attendant looks over, and the attendant nods his head. And you continue on with your meal.
I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
Turk grinds some pepper in his hand
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
I'm so happy.
and licks it.
How can I take you to anywhere?
The final food,
Strange.
the final food item is a cheesecake, which looks to be very expertly crafted with what looks to be edible like roses scattered around the plate. However, Turk and Cass's cheesecake is floored with pepper. Like pepper on the flowers, like pepper coming off the cheesecake. Like it is just a mound of pepper. And as you look back at this individual, he kind of looks over and he goes,
You did this to yourselves. I'm going to eat my cheesecake happily.
Cass is gonna just take Turk's hand and try and form her hand around it to make a fist, and then make hers do the same, and hold his up.
he smiles and he just kind of claps for himself. He like claps for himself and he acknowledges.
Oh gosh.
Turk is here trying to pick off every little piece of pepper and putting it to the side of the
William, you sit down, and you are you see a regular person behind the bar that comes up and is like, "Hi, what can I get you?"
What's the recommendation for today?
The soup du jour is very good.
Sounds good. I'll have that.
The person behind the bar will go and grab you a plate of. Atop it is a saucer of soup. You know, it smells very good. It's a beefy, like broth. You know, vegetables mixed in and stuff like that. Very hearty. Cool.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay. As you all sit down and eat and feel yourselves, take a short rest. If any of you have anything that's affected by a short rest, you are welcome to do so.
Turk's also going to be making sure little Chesh gets a little bit every now and then.
Yeah.
I don't know if he eats or not.
Yeah. Does anybody else pocket food or give food to anybody else? Okay.
Oh. No, I haven't done that yet. No. We're good.
No? Okay. Cool. All right, let's cut back to Opheria. As everybody enjoys a very nice meal, as we cut back to Opheria in the space. After a while, you would feel that you're starting to get hungry, and he goes over. You would watch as your new best buddy King goes over to what looks to be a cubby, and he writes down on a piece of paper a few words, and the paper is sucked up into a tube. After about 30 seconds, there's a long pause, and after 30 seconds, there is a sound, a slight sound of a thud from inside this little container, and he opens up a cart, and you would see a plate of food there. It looks to be like a turkey sandwich with some roasted potatoes and things of that sort.
That is really cool. So you write whatever you want and they just give it to you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
I know.
Can we install this in our rooms in the library?
You could if you knew it was there.
I'm going to tell you all about it, don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll order food too, but my goal right now, what I would like to do, but I also don't want it to take too long, is I'm guessing you said 2 or 3 adults?
There's 2 adults in the room.
And they're more babysitters than teachers, right?
Yeah, they're not really teachers. They're doing activities with the really young kids.
Okay.
The rest of you have been given somewhat autonomy.
And there's what, 20, 30 kids in there?
Sure,
or so?
yeah.
Okay, so I'm guessing that this might be like a persuasion and then a performance check.
Sure.
I want to get the kids wrapped up in a make-believe game, like a big game of like, because kids play pretend all the time.
Sure.
And I do want to do a big pretend of spies, where we all become spies and groups where we're like, we're
Kane's into it, so give me
Yeah.
a persuasion check at advantage, please.
okay, and get as many kids in on this
The
game as
only
possible.
person who's not into it is
That's fine.
is your buddy at the far end who's asleep. His eyes are closed, his book is in front of him, and he's snoring happily.
Okay, it's an 11
Okay.
for Kane. Do I need to roll persuasion?
You get to
for the
roll
kids?
at advantage
Oh.
because Kane is helping you.
Oh, okay.
The Kane is helping you, so he's giving you advantage on
All right, then that's a 24 for the rest of the other kids.
The kids love it. They start pretending like they're sending secret messages, and they start talking about dragon-marked houses. Which house are you in? We don't like that house. And they begin to play a massive game of spy and espionage in the small children's quarters.
I want to work into this game, but well into the game so that the adults aren't picking up on it. Because generally, kids will watch, or the adults will watch the beginning of a kid's game and make sure that it's appropriate and not like hurting anything.
Sure.
But then they'll just kind of ignore it because the kids are occupied and they're happy and they can chat about their own stuff.
Okay.
So at some point, I want to work into this conversation in this spies game with the kids.
Okay.
That in the spy game, I want to find out, because kids are much better at listening to adults than adults realize, if anyone's heard of something called the grounding. And for the person who has the most information, I'm coming back tomorrow, but the person who has the most information, and I open up my bag of holding and pull out just a handful of cookies and candy. And I'm like, I've got so much candies and cookies for the person who finds out the most.
How much do we get?
100 candies and 50 cookies.
Okay. You work with children.
Yeah.
Every single child raises their hand that they know what the grounding is.
Right, I know, but I'm saying.
You said if anybody has information, every single child, when you say, I will give you 100 candies and 50 cookies, every kid goes,
whoever has the best information. Okay, so we've got time. They can tell me their information.
You get a wide range of like, I've heard that the grounding is a secret dragon that lives under your bed, and if you leave your clothes out, he will eat them and poop them out.
Cool.
I've heard that the grounding is a magical item, and that if you have the grounding, and it just goes
No, that's fine.
on and on.
I'm
and on
gonna
and
say, okay, but I'm not giving it out today. You weren't listening to me. You have to find out from the adults around you, and I'm gonna come back tomorrow.
all the kids nod their head. The only kid that's not playing this game by the end of it, and the adults are getting a big kick out of it. Like, cause the only kid that's not playing is Ethos, who's asleep at the way back of the train. He's sawing logs.
That's fine. I'm not giving anybody candy today.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? No, because I've got so much candy that if the adults aren't looking, I'm
You
going to
start
pass off
sneaking
sneaking candy.
Got
I've
it.
got so much of it that I'll make friends with all these kids.
Cool.
At some point before we leave, I'm going to head over and try again with Ethos. But
Okay. Yeah, you head over at one point to where Ethos is.
oh, okay. Hi, you're kind of antisocial.
Doesn't respond.
I mean, I get it because sometimes I am too.
Doesn't respond.
Are you trying to be a jerk, or are you just naturally like you don't like people?
Doesn't respond.
I poke him in the arm.
You poke the illusion.
I look around.
That is where we are going to end tonight's episode. we kick off part 2 of our epic train adventure as all of you in the restaurant are enjoying yourselves and having a good time when you all are watching the scene happening outside. And as Afira is poking Ethos and being like, oh no, you would see a very fast moving car pull up alongside of the train with masked figures, each of them half metal and half human, leap out of the car and attach themselves to the train. And then the realization hits you that the windows are showing you the past of what happens. And that these figures have already latched onto the train or are now outside of it. That is where we are going to end tonight's adventure. As we kick off next week with Initiative, as some of you may have to fight outside atop a moving train. Thank you all so much for tuning in to tonight's adventure. We love you so much, and thank you for indulging my train adventure with pleasure chambers.
Amalgamation?
Amalgamation? Yeah, there you go. We hope you had a good time. And as always, we're going to go raid a channel and show the TTRPG love. We're going to go see the Ash Sisters. They're doing a giveaway tonight for some really cool dice. So submit to win those cool dice. You don't have to be there to win. Love you. See you soon. Indigo Connect. Thanks you for